There's an easy way to enable the parking mode on a dash cam without hardwiring it, and that's with a dash cam battery. In this video, I'm taking 70mi's flagship T800 dash cam and pairing it with their dash cam battery, so that the parking mode can film for way longer, you'll have a much better chance to capture potential incidents when you're away from the vehicle for a long time, and you don't have to deal with any fuses. Hooking up a battery to your dash cam can avoid draining the car battery, can stop low voltage hardwire cutoffs, and provide you with much greater protection, and I've often been asked about it in the comments of my dash cam review videos. If you're not familiar with the T800 dash cam, it's got a very impressive spec, filming 4K HDR from both front and rear cameras, as well as having a colour HD cabin camera with infrared night vision. It also has a comprehensive parking mode with collision and motion detection, as well as ADAS features such as lane departure and collision warnings. And if you're wondering, the T800 is available for around £400 or $450, while the dashcam battery can be found for around £200 or dollars, and I've got affiliate links to them in the description if you like what you see. I've teamed up with 70mi for this video, who have provided the T800 and dashcam battery pack. I've already made a separate in-depth video about the T800, covering everything from installation to video quality, and you can check that out now through the link in the top right hand corner or in the description below. .70mi's dashcam battery pack is a lithium iron phosphate battery with a nominal voltage of 12.8 volts, a capacity of 7,500 mAh and a total energy rating of 96 Wh. It also includes advanced safety features such as automatic current limiting, delayed charging and comprehensive battery protection against overcharge, temperature extremes and short circuits. You may be wondering, can't I just use a battery pack or power bank that I already have? The answer is no, and I'll explain why a little bit later. In the box you'll get instruction manuals, and if I pause briefly here you can see that you've got two methods to install the battery. I'll run through the pros and cons of both later too, so you can decide which is best for you. You've then got the battery, which is nicely designed, slim and not too bulky. After all, you'll want to hide this somewhere in your car once it's installed. It does have a bit of weight to it at 1.4 kilograms however, but this is standard for large batteries. In the bottom of the box are the cables you'll need to hardwire the battery to the car, along with fuse taps and spare fuses. There are Velcro straps to hold wires in place or stick the battery down. And there's a long USB-C power cable to connect the battery pack to a dashcam. If you want to hardwire the battery to your dashcam, then you'll need to purchase a separate hardwire kit. 70mi do a 4G one which accepts a SIM card so you can view your dashcam remotely through their app, though a standard hardwire kit will work fine too. If you don't want to hardwire it, you can use the 12V port to charge the battery, and you'll need to buy this additional 12V to XT30 3-pin cable to do this. I'll be focusing on this method mainly in the video, though we'll run through the basics of hardwiring too. Just before we get to the install, it's probably helpful if I explain how a dashcam battery works. When the car is running, the dashcam battery charges directly from the vehicle's power system while simultaneously powering the dashcam, so everything works just like a normal dashcam setup. The battery stores energy in the background as you drive, without affecting how the camera records. Once you turn off the engine, the charged dashcam battery seamlessly takes over. At this point, the dashcam enters parking mode and it continues monitoring the vehicle using the battery pack instead of the car battery. The entire process is automatic, so there's no need to flip switches or change any settings. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned that you can't just hook up the dashcam to a battery pack or power bank that you already have and expect the same result as a designated dashcam battery pack. Sure, you can power the dashcam and also charge it from the vehicle, but there's one important difference between these batteries and 70mi's one. If you use a regular battery, then the dashcam won't know to enter parking mode when the vehicle's turned off. If you don't enter a parking mode, then this will eat through the dashcam storage in no time, but also quickly depletes the battery's charge, so your dashcam will soon turn off and you'll miss any happenings. A dashcam battery pack on the other hand knows when the engine turns off, tells the dashcam, and the camera can enter parking mode and monitor the vehicle for a much longer period using the much less power hungry continuous time-lapse filming, or only filming when it detects motion or impacts. When it comes to the install, there are two ways to charge the dashcam battery from the vehicle battery and two ways to connect the dashcam battery to the dashcam, and you'll need to decide which you want to do before you begin. To charge the battery, you can either connect it to the vehicle with the 12V XT30 cable, purchased separately and I've left a link in the description below, or use the fuse taps and cable included in the box to hook it up to the car's fuses. Tapping the fuses will be the option to choose if your 12V port is always powered, whether the vehicle's on or off, or if you just want to keep the 12V port free for other devices. To connect the battery to the dash cam, you can use either the USB-C cable if you're using a 70mm dash cam, or a separately purchased hardwire kit if you want the additional live view capabilities in the app, or are using a different non-70mm dash cam. This is because a lot of dash cams don't show their parking modes and settings until a hardwire kit is plugged in. But before we go any further, the install I'm about to do is for educational and informational purposes only. You're responsible for any work you perform on your own vehicle, and if you're not sure, you should consult a qualified professional. The first step is to find where you want to keep the battery in the vehicle. Safety is a priority here, and you ideally want the battery flat on the car floor. I think the best option is tucked away under one of the front seats or in the glove box. Be sure to secure it in place using the Velcro so it can't move around or become a hazard when driving, use cable ties to secure all wires, and avoid loose wiring near pedals or seat rails. For this install, I'm focusing on the 12V cable install method with a 70mm dash cam, which is the easiest plug and play method and doesn't involve messing around with car fuses. Take the 12V to XT30 3-pin cable and plug the yellow end into the battery. The rest of the wire then needs to find its way to the car's cigarette lighter port and be hidden along the way. Tucking the wire into crevices, under carpet or behind trim is the best way to go. Trim often pops off, but be careful with it so you don't break any pins or clips holding it in place. When you're at the 12V port, you can plug it in and the battery will now begin charging whenever the car is turned on. When you start the vehicle, there's around a 20-second delay to the battery starting to charge, and this is to prevent excessive load on the car battery. With the battery powered, the second half of the installation is to connect the battery to the dashcam, and you have the two ways to do this. The first is the included USB-C cable, which is the simplest way, and I use that here. Or you can get the separate hardwire kit, and I'll explain how to connect this up later. The USB-C power cable is plenty long enough for most vehicles, and with one end plugged into the port on the battery, the other end can be worked up to the dashcam. In my case, I'll start by running the cable under the door carpet towards the A-pillar, up towards the headliner, and along towards the dashcam. Routing this way may not be the same for all cars, but it'll likely be something similar. Do be very careful not to block any A-pillar airbags though. Running wires along existing cabling is generally considered the safest way to do this. While I've finished this install, if you're finding this video helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel for more how-tos and tech reviews just like this. Once the cable arrives at the dashcam, you can plug it in and that's the installation complete. As for the battery charging times, it'll take approximately 90 minutes with the 12V cable or 60 minutes with the hardwire connection. If you do want to hardwire the battery into the vehicle's fuses, then it's a little more complicated. Take the included hardwire cable, plug the yellow end into the battery, and then you have the 3 wires on the other end to deal with. The wire marked VCC is to be connected to a fuse slot which is always powered. The ACC wire is for a fuse which is only powered when the vehicle is on, and the GND ground wire is to be connected to a bit of grounded metal like a bolt. To connect the dashcam to the battery pack, as before, you can use the USB-C cable. If you want to use the hardwire kit, this will need to be attached to the XT30 3-pin to lever nut cable, which is the last remaining cable in the box. Here you can see me attaching the VCC and ACC wires, but you'd also need to remove the metal semicircle ground connector and connect that black wire to the grey and orange lever nut wire connectors too. By the end, the XT30 end will be connected to the battery, the lever nuts connected to the hardwire kit, and the USB-C connection from the hardwire kit then plugs into the dashcam. I haven't gone through the process in that much detail here as this video will get too long, but I've already created a complete guide on how to hardwire a dashcam which follows much of the same principles. You should see a link to it in the top right corner now, but I'll also leave a link in the description below too. Once you've got the dashcam battery pack installed, you just need to configure your preferred parking mode settings to finish the setup. If you're using a 70mm dash cam like the T800 I have here, then the parking mode setting is always visible, but when hooked up to the battery, you'll have access to more options. For the T800, tap the settings button and head to parking security. You can then choose your duration of filming from unlimited down to 2 hours. You can switch on collision and motion detection, which comes with sensitivity and other settings, so you'll only film on impact or movement nearby. There's an option to turn on time-lapse photography to save memory space. And under recording footage, you can choose which of the T800's 3 lenses you want to record with. Filming with fewer lenses takes up less battery and storage. If you've decided that a dashcam battery is for you, then there are just a few more things to be aware of. Before relying on your battery for daily parking protection, let it fully charge and always test your setup. Start the car, turn it off, and confirm the cam switches to battery power correctly. Double check the battery pack is firmly held in place, keeping all wiring clear of pedals, seat rails and moving parts. Make sure the battery is in a cool, well-ventilated area, like under a seat or in the glove box, and never install it in the engine bay or near any heat sources. Only use the recommended cables and connections, making sure all plugs are snug, and avoid cheap third-party adapters. Finally, understand how your vehicle's cigarette lighter or fuse box behave when the car is off. If in doubt, doing a quick overnight test can save you from surprises and ensure reliable parking mode recording. And that's it. Your dashcam battery is installed and ready to go, giving you longer parking protection without risking your car's battery. Once everything's connected and tested, you can park with confidence knowing your dashcam stays powered when it matters most. My only real note on 70mm's dashcam battery kit is that it would be nice to have that 12V to XT30 cable included in the box, as it's pretty essential to do the most simple setup. If this video helped, please hit that like button, subscribe for more how-tos and tech reviews just like this, and drop any questions in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.